Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mad Morty. This is Mr. Morty. David, how are you?
I'm very well, Morty. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Looking forward to getting this done.
I feel a bit hot.
Warm.
Warm.
Yeah.
It's warm today.
Wet outside.
Yeah, humid and wet in Cornwall. Joy.
Joy.
Happy, joy.
Happy, joy.
Happy, joy. So yeah, so this is Flosstube number 10. We're in double figures.
Oh my lord.
We're getting all grown up.
Gosh, fancy that.
Indeed. Today is the 15th of August 2021. And our last video was the 26th of July. So 3 weeks, thereabouts. A little bit shorter time frame.
A little bit.
We're trying to squeeze this in today between doing all sorts of other things like
just so many things.
going out with friends
so
for dinner.
So busy.
Yes, you've been doing like manly stuff.
Yeah. Sorting. And
sorting.
drilling.
You have a sorting.
Sorting.
He has a sorting.
Yeah, drilling.
Drilling. Okay. But actually more on that in a minute because some of it is craft related.
Aha.
Indeed. Indeed, you've been doing modifications.
Modifications, yeah.
You've been modding something.
Take you to my lab. Shall we?
I suppose we should actually, really. So yes, as we say, welcome to the mayhem that is at Morti Mansions, and you know.
Morti Mansions, I like that.
You like Morti?
Yeah,
Mansions?
I like Morti Mansions. Yeah,
okay.
Welcome to Morti Mansions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayhem and merriment abound.
That's what you call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely mayhem when the dogs tried to attack someone walking past our front window earlier today.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah. Net curtains and two big dogs don't actually mix.
Yeah.
You've had a week off, haven't you?
Net curtains nil, dogs
2.
3.
Dogs 2.
Yes, a week off. Yeah. Just turn hand to the DIY.
A DIY. What DIY have you done?
What haven't I done?
Give them a little bit of life stuff. So just a smidgen of life stuff this week.
Oh, Monday was pond, wasn't it? No, that was Sunday.
The days have rolled into one.
Anyway, we've done pond and filter and pump and things in an attempt to make it not cloudy.
And it hasn't worked.
It's early days.
It's better than it was, but I think we need to buy some pond clear chemical.
The inevitable leak in the kitchen roof.
Oh God, yeah, the leaky roof.
Another attempt at which, so yes, we dug out a crack on the outside bathroom wall.
He's using the royal way. He did, not me. I don't climb ladders.
We removed the old lead.
Did.
Put in new lead.
Yep.
A bit of belt and braces, and did some tape sealing as well.
Might need to actually explain a little bit more than that. Okay, so we have a wall, which is the wall of our bathroom upstairs. I'll probably put some pictures in here as well. Our flat roof for our kitchen is here. And would you like to point out where there was a crack? There
was a crack down this edge near the camera, down here.
Like where my little finger is, running down the wall down there.
But the crack was going beyond the lead, where the lead was slot in.
And where was the lead?
The lead was along here.
Yeah,
horizontal.
So the lead was there, which covered the roof.
But the crack was going right through the bricks.
Down.
And down behind it and into the roof. So
and the lead was split.
The lead was split in places, but also the unusual thing is we have do the flap of lead on the flat roof. We had water puddling here, and then the wind would blow up and underneath.
This is like a good game of cat's cradle.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Anyway, that was...
Shadow puppets.
Yes. An attempt to keep the water out of the house.
Every time we got a southwesterly, it would just push water up off the roof and down the wall inside. So we've had the roof replaced twice to try and fix the problem. It did have other leaks, so the other leaks were all fixed, but this one problem persisted. And
so
when you got up there, you found that the previous owners had filled the whole crack with silicone.
Just silicone, yeah, just...
They hadn't fixed it. They just filled the crack. So yeah, so you dealt with that, and now we've just got to wait for a winter storm.
Yeah.
Before we can put the ceiling back.
That could be next week, judging by the weather outside today.
Certainly could be. It's just Cornwall after all.
So then we spent the rest of the week pottering, jobs that you sort of see around the house and think, I'll just do that and I'll do that.
Groom the dogs.
Dogs grooming, yeah.
Cut the dog's toenails.
Yeah, wash their faces.
Really worked with that mat this morning, didn't it?
Yeah, they're probably sharper now that I've cut them, actually.
Yeah, wash the beards.
Wash their beards. That was quite a good job. And then potted on stuff shed bound, really.
You
I had a look at the
cut the roots for the Christmas tree.
I did. We have a Christmas tree that was gifted to us from my mother.
And they moved.
In a pot. It's in a pot. And it was showing signs of get me out of this pot. So I have applied rule of bonsai. Want pot tree to stay small, cut root.
Yes.
So we did. We chopped off considerable. So now it's fingers crossed and lots of fresh soil and compost.
It's not an option to put it in a bigger pot, and it's not an option to put it in the soil at the moment because we're not sure how long it's going to live for. But it is growing new shoots.
No, soil space is minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal.
Yeah.
And how big does a pot get before, you know?
We may end up having to take it up to Tahiti Woods and plant it out up there. Because there's lots of other types of trees up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a clandestine planting.
Yeah, that could be funny. We've done similar things in the past. Guerrilla gardening.
So, yes. And then my good lady Morti then said, can you do something with this? So we did something with that.
Oh, yes, more on that in a minute.
Yeah.
So, but have you managed to... We'll come to stitching in a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
So
in between all that. Yeah.
We've got a whole... So since, you know... the last time we were here, we had 400 subscribers. Yes. And then over the course of the next couple of days, and I think probably the plushies had something to do with it. I could be wrong, but I don't think people like the plushies. Because we went up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It was like a game of the hokey cokey with numbers. And it went down to 399, 398, up to 402, down to 399, up to 403, down to 399, up to 400. And now it's at 412. So hopefully it's levelled out a bit.
I think perhaps it might be the odd appearance of a spider.
But it's just legs. It's not really a spider.
Who knows?
It's bony. We might get rid of that. Yeah. Move the camera across so people can't see the skulls. So if we just do that, you know, it's like...
But, you know.
Yeah, you go. Look, we look more normal now.
No way. Remember, to everybody else,
we're a normal family. Yes. Okay. So, but a big thank you to all our existing subscribers. Hello to all our new ones. Oh, probably about 15 or 20 of you. I've lost track of how many have actually joined. How many joined and left straight away? I don't know.
Run away screaming.
Calm down.
I thought this was a stitching channel.
No, this is a stitching channel. Who are these idiots? Who do they think they are? 8 minutes in and we haven't touched stitching yet. So, and also a big thank you to our lovely commenters. There's loads of comments. I can't mention you all by name, but
yes,
a couple I can think of. Stitching Penguin. I think Mama Yoda has mentioned us again, and Rin, definitely Rin, and Geekcraft and Stitchman Darcy. He said hello, and he was quite impressed by the Empress. He said Emperor sounds like a good title, and I said no. Because if you were the Emperor, you'd have to be married to Teresa, and I'm sure she would probably not be very happy about that. Or certainly her husband Darren wouldn't.
No, quiet.
And then there's Melissa. And then there's Melissa. Darcy's lovely wife.
So all of the mentions,
yes.
Thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, we've done quite well. We've mentioned about 5 YouTubers in one sentence, I think. Because Melissa, if you're watching this, get your own YouTube, my lovely, because, you know, you don't need him.
Yeah.
We love Darcy, but, you know, you don't need him. You can have your own channel.
Your own space.
Your own channel. All right, moving on.
So, moving on.
Stitching. Da, da, da. What have you done? Have you done any?
Yes, I'm in the death throes, I suppose is a good way of putting it, of Newton's Law, the anchor kit that I seem to have been on for months and months, considering it's just a little kit.
Have you got your picture of it? What it's supposed to look like?
Down the side of the seat.
Down the side. Hang on. Let me just have a rummage down the side of the seat.
It's not. No.
Well, if it is, it's the other side of the seat, and I can't reach it.
Anyway, I'm sure those
we'll put
that
a
have
picture
seen
up somewhere.
A picture of what it was like. It's now 400-ish stitches, 398 stitches. to finish the actual formal stitching. So it now looks like that, and 398 stitches plus 6 white spots on his hanky.
Is it just 6 or is it more?
7, might be 7.
It's 8.
Is it 8? Never was able to count.
Advance on 8, go once, going twice.
So yes, he is at backstage.
Backstage?
Back stitch stage. I think I should be
You're
backstage.
looking good.
He's looking okay, isn't he? I'm pleased. Just I need to get more stitching done.
Yeah.
But yes.
So you've done the back stitch around his eyes and nose.
Yes.
And you've done
the 6 spots on his handkerchief.
8
that should 8 spots on his handkerchief. That was part of the main body stitching, but I left them because my tutor was not available.
Yeah.
And then I was taught, and I like the effect of a French knot.
I'll put a picture in here of his French knots.
Mm.
He's never done French knots before. Didn't he do well?
So yes, looking forward to getting on with the back stitch, because then news will be afoot of my next project. Share that when we do our next Flosstube.
Well, we can share what your plans are.
Okay.
Where are they?
My plans are not to hand, so that's what I say. Next Flosstube, because
so because of him and his really good French knots, I think I'm actually going to do a tutorial for French knots, because as I say, he's never done them before, and he's managed 8. One's a little wonky, but that it just looks like it's in a seam. But yeah, you did really well. I was really impressed with how well you did. So.
It was the quality of the teaching, I have to be honest. No. Praise where praise is due.
Don't say things like that.
No, it was good.
You're biased.
If
You're biased. We'll let them be the judge. When I do the tutorial, we'll let all them be the judge, shall we?
Agreed.
You're biased.
But that's me. That's me done. Hopefully I'll have a finished next time we on a new project. That'd be nice.
That'd be good.
Over to you.
Right, are you all sitting comfortably? If you're not, just pause here for a second, go and make yourself a cuppa, and then come back.
Yeah, we'll just sit still here waiting.
We've got a few bits. Not a massive amount, but we've got a few bits. So let's start off with peppermint purple. So if you recall, last time you saw it, it looked like this. I'm going to put it above my head.
The big question is, are we up to date?
We are up to date. What was really interesting, nobody spotted the mistake.
Even you?
No, I did. I spotted the mistake after that particular video, but if you look here, so here we are, we're up to date. Now, in the middle here, if you go back a couple of videos, you'll see that's a single block, because I got a bit carried away doing the opposite pattern and forgot that this was a row of 6 small blocks, and I put 4 small blocks on 1 big block. So I had to frog all of that.
Oh, wow.
Create that into 2. It's not that exciting.
I don't like frogging.
You don't like frogging?
No.
So I had to frog. It's only the outlines I had to frog.
Matters not.
I had to frog that, re-stitch that as 2 separate blocks, and then do the middles. And nobody commented. Nobody spotted that there had been a previous mistake, and I forgot to mention it in the last Flosstube.
Well, done you for hiding that.
So I'm mentioning it now. You'll have to excuse all the random threads, but I don't like carrying them too far. So yeah, so I have done. I was partway through that one last time. So I have finished that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I've done the borders around here. I think you can see that all right. You can tell me if I can't see it.
Yes.
Actually, why don't I just do that?
Just do that. That makes sense.
Done the borders around there. I've carried on with the border down here a bit. I have got to do that yet, and then I can move it. But I didn't want to do anything until I'd done the Flosstube. Ew. Something's sticky on me. That looks like jam. Where did that come from? Would you like hold us a moment? Playing balls. There you go.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, you do that. It was on my jeans, it wasn't on my stuff. We'll just edit all this bit out. Cool, okay. A bit late now.
I know it's a bit late now.
Right. Yep. So total stitches. Right. Okay. No, I keep forgetting to do this. Every time I forget to do this. So I am stitching it on 18 count DMC White Ada. I am using DMC 550 and 3387. So the 550 is the darker colour that I'm using for the outlines, and the 3387 I'm using to fill. And I have done 1,760 backstitch.
Rock on.
That's good. That's really good. That's 3 weeks as well.
Rock on.
3 weeks. Did a major catch-up session because there are other stitch-alongs starting, and I wanted to be up to date on this. Actually, in fact, somebody said to me, you must be up to date on this before you start any of the others, and I was.
Well,
yes.
Not all stitch-alongs are created equal.
No, they are not. And the next square is quite a big one, so... and then it's another one of these, another strip that's going in next.
Okay, with a date.
With the year. I'll just put the year in. I don't even have to wait for that one to be released because I can do it myself. Anyway, so yeah, so that's Peppermint Purple. Nicely up to date. Yay!
Fabulous.
Okay, so
coming along.
Next up, we have our field of ducks.
Oh, the ducks.
The ducks. I forgot you could do that. How have you managed to resist doing it up till now?
Because the socks are on.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's actually been moved. So the last time you'll see, it looks like somewhere here there's a picture. I did a little bit of stitching on this one, not a massive amount.
And this is stitched on...
This is stitched on 26 holes per inch Hardanger fabric, which I acquired from Truro Fabrics in a sort of antique cream colour. I'm working with a hoop. I'm not a big fan of hoops because they tend to leave marks in the fabric that you can't get out, and I don't like swapping in and out and in and out and in and out, checking all about. The chart is the Field of Ducks, change the D to an F, by Fandom Cross Stitchery on Etsy. I'll put the name along the bottom here. And they do a series of these, and they're done to look like, oh, sorry, must keep those prehensile toes out of the way. It's done to look like the bio tapestry, but it basically says, behold the field in which I grow my ducks, lay thine eyes upon it and thou shalt see that it is barren. And I'm still working on the building, so I've mostly done like outline and like the browns and a lot more cream. I've done 245 stitches in that because obviously
you're doing stitches other way.
I'm doing other stuff, yeah. So
yeah.
I did darker brown up here, and
no, it's starting to look like the building. So
yes, it is. So that's that one. 245 stitches. Third up is Panna's Christmas Mousse. It's done, I think, on 14 holes per inch fabric, which came with the kits.
I really like this. Of all the kits you've got, I am envious that I'm not doing this one.
Oh, you can do your own if you want.
I think he is glorious.
He's very sweet. So anyway,
he really is, and it's on the colour it, Tom. It's good.
Yeah. So last time it looked like this, and this time we have more blue done. Big problem. I'm going to have to hold this in front of your face. I'm sorry, my lovely. So there we go. I'm going to peer around the corner here, like just look like Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Daddy's home.
Here's Johnny. So we're nutters, we really are. So lots more of the blue. So we've got 2 shades more blue gone in here, and I'm actually moved across here. I've stitched in the tree, and I've started on the buildings on this side. I am leaving all of the white until last, simply because you know,
it gets mucky.
It gets mucky, particularly in this house. Well, you know, we're on the main road. I just think he's adorable. So many people think he's lovely.
He is proper lovely.
He is. So
nicely done.
I do like him.
Fabulous.
He's very sweet. So the other piece that I normally work on is Siren's Lament. She says moving that shot. So Siren's Lament, I have stitched on that. Not at all. 0 stitches. So I'm not going to bother showing you.
So the Anne Stokes input had no effect.
No. Well, no.
Because there are things that need moving on.
There are other things that need moving on. I really need to get Mousse finished.
So let's face it.
Christmas is coming.
Siren's Lament is a long-term
Is that what you said? Simon's.
Simon's Lament is a long-term project.
It's now going to be 4 years. Well, I thought it'd be
Ongoing,
3.5.
ongoing.
It's going to be 4 years at least
It's going
because
to be
other
fine,
things get
because
in
you
the
doing
way.
stitch-alongs.
I keep doing stitch-alongs, and I have some enablers who I'm going to talk about in a minute.
I'm sure they're thrilled you call them enablers.
I'm an enabler for them. You know, I bullied a couple of them into doing a stitch-along with me. So yeah. So the main one, I know.
Club of it mentals together.
I'm sorry, ladies. It's bad enough with JC calling us the Coven. Without you calling us mentals.
Very adorable mentals.
Just keep trying. You've got to rescue it somehow.
Dig and Miss Spade.
Can be arranged.
Shall I go?
Dig in your own grave, huh?
You know I don't mean any harm to people. I just think it's incredible that you take on so much. All of you.
Well, you know, we're lunatics.
Yeah.
But we want to stitch all the things.
You see, you call lunatics, I say mental and get a hard time.
Yeah. So, the first stitch along. I'm going to be honest here. I've actually only started one of the stitch alongs. But that's not my fault. Because they hadn't released all the bits yet. So, the first stitch along. There were a couple of others I would have liked to have done. One of which is the Tiny Modernists one, which is when witches go riding. That's really nice. I really like that. So it might happen at a slightly later date, and I do want to stitch the Goth Sloth, but that's not a sal. But I'm doing the Cryptid sal, so hashtag Cryptid sal.
I like the material this is on.
This is on 32 count hand dyed Belfast linen in colourway Heirloom by Pole Stitches. It's fabulous.
It looks lovely. It looks like you spilt your tea on it.
I couldn't get the one that was called for. By the Primitive Hair.
No, but I think that's lovely.
They just kept selling out. We'll come to the needleminder in a minute. But yes, so I have done on that 802 stitches. It's about 13-14% of the entire frame, so it's got a long way to go yet. All the way across here. It doesn't look like there's enough fabric there, but there actually is. To put, I think there's enough, yeah, because it's cryptids and then the border. So it should be absolutely fine because I did measure it correctly and it does fit just.
Don't understand the word just.
By, by the Witchy Stitcher. So that's available from the Witchy Stitcher. It's a free stitch. I think it's a free stitch. I can't remember. I'm going to give up there. I'm just going to stop there.
While you're ahead.
I'll quit while I'm ahead. So yes, I'm enjoying working on that, and actually it's nice and easy to do. It's quite a repetitive pattern to go through, and there's these cute little bats and inverted crosses and what have you.
It's going to look lovely.
It is. It's going to be lovely.
It's going to look lovely.
Yes. So that's what I've worked on. That's my work in progress. Yeah, there's 4,623 or something stitches just in the border alone. So I've worked out at my rate, it's going to take me about 30 days just to do the border.
Okay. Tell work you're sick.
And that's just one stitch along. So what we'll actually do is we'll skip haul for the moment and we'll go to plans and announcements.
Okay.
Because it's relevant with the whips, it's the moving on bit, isn't it? So the next stitch along is the Candlesticks Stitch Along by Lakeside Needlecrafts, and I haven't actually started this yet because they only released part 1 today.
Right. And when is the next one released?
What do you mean by the next one?
It's a stitch along, so you said part 1's been released.
Part 1's been released of this, so this was released at midnight.
Yep.
The next part will be released on the 28th of August.
Okay.
Okay. The next part for the Cryptid Stitch Along isn't released until the 1st of September.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got a couple of weeks in which to stitch that and that. But I'm struggling with the Lakeside one already and I haven't even started it. I'm sure my coven will actually help with that because I thought it was being stitched. Hang on. That's just part 1, okay? So I thought it was going to be stitched portrait. But I think it's being stitched landscape.
Right.
And part 1's actually over here, so it might be that there's multiple candlesticks on a shelf.
Oh, I see. I was going to ask that question. Having not done, right. That's part 1. Part 2.
Yeah.
Right. Going that way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why my brain thought it was going the other way. I thought it was one long candlestick going down, but I think,
Right.
yeah, I think it's being stitched, and that would figure because previous ones they've done have been stitched landscape. And that's just one part. I think there's lots of different candlesticks in it.
Right.
Probably get the top and bottom mooch.
Beware.
Yeah. It's my aunt, Barbara. Sorry. So, yes. So that's one. And then the other one is the storybook Stitch Along by Stitchonomy. Something just fell on the floor.
A thread.
Hope it wasn't important. Right. I have no idea what it's going to look like yet, but for everybody that knows what Stitchonomy looks like, then that's absolutely fine. I'll say I've got the welcome pack. The first part is not released until the 3rd of September.
Okay.
So we've got a couple of weeks before that starts.
And there's no picture to...
There's no picture.
Okay.
But it's probably going to be in their same usual grid format.
Okay.
And then have lots of little boxes, and they're all to do with stories of some description or other.
Okay.
That's the thread.
Going to be very colourful.
There will be a lot of black.
There will be a lot of black.
Yeah. Be a lot of black. So, that one.
Oh, see, I'm understanding reading this. You can select in your own colours. Will you go as prescribed?
I usually do.
You usually
I'm
do.
a...
Okay.
I use the phrase, you have to excuse the expression, but I'm a called for whore. But it doesn't mean that I'm a it means I
Ring,
I
ring,
really,
ring, Morti available.
No, not like that. Exactly. No, I mean that I always use what's called for because I feel very. It's rare that I will swap stuff out
Because they've made the trouble.
They've made the trouble to design it. If I want to stitch it, then
Gone to the trouble.
I should use what they've done. But there are occasions when you have to swap out because either you can't get hold of the threads or what have you. And in actual fact, with the Cryptid sale, I think I'm going to do the moons that run down the side in gold and silver rather than the 2 shades of brown that they've called for.
Right.
Because whilst metallic is a bit of a nuisance to stitch with,
It will look lovely.
it's the moon.
It's the moon.
It's the
We've
moon.
only got one.
Yeah. Anyway. So that's those two. And then my coven, particularly Carrie.
That was a good look. I've had that look.
It's trying to talk me into starting the spooky stitch along by the steady thread.
Now, purse your lips and practice. No. Say later.
Wow. That's like that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Not
Yeah.
No.
Done in a very Crichton-like way.
Big bags that only just feed me. I'm not
Stirring with you.
No, not at all. No.
So it is quite nice. I do like the gates that are on it, the metal scroll work that's like a fence and gates. But I don't know.
Look Christmas Moose in the eye and say, I'm not spending any time on you anymore because I'm so committed to...
I am resisting the urge to start that. I might buy it to stitch later. Rather than stitch it as part of the stitch along at the moment.
Ah, yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay.
So I
So
don't,
you'll be
because the
behind.
fear of missing out is real. And I do like that framework that's on it. But it's not just the Christmas moose that's the problem. It's that a certain friend of ours is expecting a baby in November, and I did say I'd knit her a jumper for the baby. So
time is pressing.
yeah, I'm a reasonably quick knitter, and now I know how to do intarsia. It's fine.
Brilliant.
I'm going to do that skull one again. It's a plan and announcement, so I'll just pop in a picture here of my other friend whose baby my other friend's baby who I did the same jumper for, and I'm sure that Loz won't mind if I put the baby up, but because she doesn't look anything like that now. She's a little girl who's at nursery. Yeah, I'm going to do that jumper again. So yes.
Well, planned an announcement. It can be my turn then, unless you're not finished.
Quite.
Not
I
finished.
also have a spoon. I have a medicine spoon.
A medicine spoon is
for an English witch who died in the witch trials in the UK.
English witch.
Yeah,
Okay.
and her name was Jane Simpson.
Right.
So I've got to work on that as well and get that done and back. So there you go.
Cool.
That's my plans and announcements done. Your turn.
Yeah, planned an announcement. Newton's Law will only get worked on when I'm home. I'm not taking Newton's Law to the truck because battle jacket that I'm wearing has patches missing off it that I need to put on, and the jacket has weighted, so I will be stitching rock music badges on it for this week.
Show them the back. Take it off and show them the back.
Strip off.
So this is what the metal crowd call a back jacket. Shows the bands that you've been to see live and what have you, and other things. You've got Iron
people
Maiden,
I listen to, the stuff that's important to me.
Bobby, move it up. AC/DC, Alter Bridge, believe it or not, Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai is our guilty pleasure.
Yes.
And he's a Liverpool fan, so yeah. And then on the front you've got.
Then I've got
Kiss.
Been a Kiss fan for
Long time.
Yeah, many years. And then the other side is like dedicated to lest we forget.
Because this man used to be in the Royal Navy.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool.
So yeah, no stitching as such, but stitching of a different kind this week.
And so much for me saying I was going to start that little Mill Hill kit, it never happened. So Chris is going to forget that one. Right. Okay.
There is only so much time.
There is only so much time. Excuse me. Okay, so other things that have happened. Not happened.
Stash.
Haul and stash. Yeah, haul actually. So obviously, first thing you've already seen the first thing, which was the fabric from Pole Stitches. The lovely 32 count hand dyed Belfast linen in colourway heirloom, and also. Now, if you've watched all of my videos or have gone back and watched some of the early ones, you would have heard me say I don't like Q-snaps. And I'm still not sure, but I did because I figured I was doing 2 or 3 stitch alongs and I'd have to keep swapping them out of frames. I was like, I can't keep buying wooden frames. They take up quite a lot of space. So let's try a Q-snap. So we got a cheap knockoff version from Amazon. And when it came home, I had to fiddle with it. It wasn't quite as the picture described because the picture showed those ridges inside the clamps. They weren't there, so they'd obviously lied about what they'd got. But, and if I show you, she says, I've been able to get these clamps off easily all the time and now when I want to. So, these are the clamps. And I got the lovely mister to round the corners off because
they were incredibly sharp.
They were really sharp, and one of the things I was most concerned about is I've heard about several stitchers who have struggled to get their clamps off their Q-snap and have torn their fabric. And I didn't want to do that. I want, absolutely not. You know, put all that effort into your work and tear a hole.
No, quite.
So Mr. Morti took it outside, and every single one of the clamps has had the corners rounded off and the ends sanded down so they're no longer sharp.
Just take the sharpness away.
And I've created little nappies. I thought you've made these little fabric, which I just edged on the sewing machine, which I put over the fabric.
Just to protect them a little bit more.
To be doubly sure, just to protect the edges.
Yeah.
And then I put my clamp on
Fabulous.
over the top of that.
Yep, pleased it works.
So, and that works really well. While we're on the subject, the other problem I had was that I have an LBC floor frame, which I'll show you another time. But you can, if you want to grab it, you can show them what you did to it. The actual clamp part of an LBC frame has very narrow. Where did you put the original block?
Just there. This is the original block.
It's the original. Sorry. Butterfingers. Right, this is the original block that goes on the LBC clamp. And it hangs like that, and you're supposed to put your frame in the groove there. Okay. That is way too small for a Q-snap when you look. Let's do it this way around. Yeah. When you look here and then try and put it in that groove, it's
particularly
like
when the top clamp is flat as well.
It doesn't sit. It doesn't sit in it. And the clamps that go on the top are flat.
Yeah.
So he politely says to me, would you like me to make you a different clamp for that? So what he did was he took 2 other bits of wood and made a big hole.
Yep.
So I've now got an interchangeable clamp for my floor stand so that the Q-snap will fit in it.
Yep.
Because the other one's absolutely fine for when I'm working on Siren Cement or the others. But actually that might work better because it holds it better. So, and that's what he's been doing this week. In fact, we did it today.
Today, this morning.
Today, this morning,
Yeah.
He's done that.
Today, this
Got
morning.
nothing to do with the fact we've got Flosstube coming up. Just he thought he would do it today.
Get done.
Yes.
Before going away for the
Super.
week.
This is going to be quite a long video, by the way. Sorry, guys. Folks, can't use the word guys. It's not.
People.
Peoples. Hello. Hello, peoples.
Hello, peoples.
Hello, peoples.
Hello, everybody, peeps.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Right.
Nothing original, just stuff we dredge up from distant years.
Yes. Yes, you have to be British and know some of British comedy. Or
Sorry to all the internationals.
Let me rephrase that. You either have to be British or you have to know quite a bit about British comedy to know what.
Yes.
Hello, everybody, peeps.
Hello,
It's from.
everybody, peeps.
I'll spray that again. Right, so for the Lakeside Candlesticks stitch along, of course, you didn't have to go out and buy their stuff, but for once I treated myself. I was having a weak moment, and you could buy the floss and fabric pack. So I treated myself to the called for fabric, which is, by the look of it, it's going to be this way up. I've already put a couple of pins in to mark the corner. This is 16 count Ada in the colourway Pumpkin.
That's very nice.
Which I think is a one-off that they've done for this stitch along.
Gosh.
I think they've done various different types of fabric.
It does look like they've just sat a pumpkin on it and let the dye run out.
Yeah, let it rot.
Yeah.
So I bought the fabric and also the floss pack. We've got here, and it saved me the hassle of having to do a floss toss and go through everything. So that we've got all those nice threads and colours there. You know, it's got two sticks. It wouldn't be Halloween without DMC 310.
And this is the candle. This is the candle that you showed.
This is the candle one. Yes, it's going to be quite colourful. That one.
Bit of purple.
Yep, a little bit of purple in there. A little bit of green. Greeny one.
Mustard.
Yep. So that was those. Not haul, but as we are on the subject, the Stitchonomy storybook stitch along, I am going to stitch on from Stash, because a lot of these threads, some of them are actually included in this. They carry over into other things. But I had in my stash
piece of canvas.
It's not canvas. It's Zweigart Ada. A nice huge piece, which is going to be way too big. Nice big bit, actually. It almost was worth hanging on to for something else, but because it probably would do really well for the Monster Mansion one. But it is 14 count Ada in the colourway Rustico Seacrest Green by
It is a pleasant green.
And my lovely friend, Texture Treasures Karen, do you remember selling me this about 10 years ago? I'm finally using it. Oops. Right.
No. That's what stashes are for.
It is.
Exactly
It's been
that.
waiting for the perfect moment,
Exactly.
and I think that.
No, I'm with you on that.
Go really well for astronomy.
Shed full of tools for exactly the same application.
Yeah, quite. What else have we got? So I've already mentioned my knockoff
Dyed threads.
Yeah. Well, that's not technically haul.
Right.
That's Stitchy Kindness. So
Yeah.
we'll come to that in a minute.
Yeah.
So I do have some haul, and again, you've seen one item of it already. I had another week moment, and I decided, having looked, it all stemmed from looking at the Christmas moose, because I don't know if you scroll back to it, you'll see that we've got Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas on a Christmas piece. So it's a very loose link, and I now realise why I put Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, because it is a Christmas front. It's kind of Halloween meets Christmas, isn't it? But I decided actually he deserved his own Christmas needlewinder, so I went and I bought. I needed more Halloween ones because I've got lots of Halloween stitch-alongs to do. So I bought this one. Let me take the needle off a bit if I can. Oh, there we go. Got that one. Mind the glare. I think that's really nice, actually.
I like it, yes.
If it does have polka dots on it. So that one. And I also got this one.
Yes.
Which is legs coming out of a cauldron. And then to go with that, I thought, actually, right, so we need some Christmas ones.
Of course.
So on the Christmas moose, I'm now going to put that one, because he's got houses.
Yeah, exactly right. You can position it such that it looks like it's in the antlers.
And, you know, because you can't just buy one Christmas one, I bought two others.
Where there's one.
Where there's one.
That Christmas tree's nice.
Yes, that Christmas tree's lovely. You know me and Christmas trees.
Mm.
And they were purchased from an Etsy seller called Wicky's Den. Put the name up at the bottom. piece then. Oop, ping. And we'll put those on the various pieces that we're working on as we work on them. And I also was given a freebie. Now, I think you can probably tell by now it's probably not really my style. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put that in the bag, the proverbial bag, for when we do our next giveaway. And that will be one of the gifts from our giveaway.
Cool. Well, it's summertime though, so if you're ever doing a summertime stitch along, that would...
Yeah, but it's pink.
Exactly. Come out in hives just saying that word.
Burns, it burns. There are some pinks that are okay, but there are others I'm not a bubblegum candy pink kind of girl. Oh, so what else have we got here? So Stitchy Kindness. Stitchy Kindness. So one of my lovely coven friends, she sent via another coven friend some hand dyed floss. I'm just making sure there's no dog hairs on it because it fell on the floor a few minutes ago. She said she was experimenting with colour. I saw that and thought it would be so me. It's looking a little bit washed out in here, but it's a sort of lime green and purple. Purple shows up much better in natural light rather than what we're in at the moment. So it's too dark outside for a natural light day, isn't it?
It's very gloomy out.
Yeah, you can't
Yes,
really
it's very
see,
gloomy
but
out.
there's lots of purple in it. It's yummy.
It is yummy. I agree.
It is yummy.
It's nice.
Very yummy. So
Very good.
I'm actually contemplating, because I've yet to do the word cryptid. I'm wondering whether or not it was how it was stitched on there for the letters for the cryptid. That might work quite well. There are quite light bits in it though, which would possibly get lost. So just here. So I might have to back stitch it in black, but that's not the end of the world. That's imminently doable. And I had some other Stitchy Kindness sent to me. Remember my giveaway?
Yes.
A couple of thingies ago.
We had a giveaway.
We had a giveaway.
We did.
And the winner chicken dinner, Deborah Watkins, has sent me
a gift in return. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
nice
thank you.
envelope here.
She won and she thanked us.
She won and she sent us thank yous.
Yeah.
And
very kind lady.
Very kind lady. This was the other option now. You know I've talked about the moons on the cryptid side. I did wonder about stitching them with that, which is a greeny brown, very mossy looking and very sort of swampy. So these are by the Gentle Art. This one's called Dragonfly and it is a colour fast counted thread, sampler threads. That one's Dragonfly. And we also have Oatmeal, so that's a off-white. And it's quite funny actually what we've just been saying. Pink Azalea.
Pink.
But it's not a pinky pink. It's a sort of what I'd call an heirloom pink. No, it's not. You're pulling a funny face. You can rub it all over your bed. It's like what I'd call an heirloom pink. It's not,
It's not Barbie pink.
Dusty pink. So like vintage French Chateau Toile de Jouy.
Whatever you said. I'll go with that.
But the shade is called Pink Azalea. So there you go. So there's all of those. That's nice.
Lovely.
And she sent us some tea. Raspberry Zinger and Wild Berry. Those are for you. Because I don't drink fruit teas. I'm like...
No, much appreciated.
One of the things that was quite common when I was a kid was you'd give your kids hot black currant to drink. And I'm like, no, it's caffeine free as well. Yay, stop you go ping. Had a lovely card from her as well. Look at that, pretty.
Finches.
Pretty, yep. Marjolaine Bastin. She's actually quite a famous artist. And she sent me a very nice card, which I won't read out. But Elaine also wrapped up with some sweeties.
Some sweeties.
Sweeties. So she sent Butterfield's candy, which has been disappearing from candy jars since 1924. And I have had our American friends quite well know these, so I've got lemon buds and peach buds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like to take one to the truck? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
To the truck this week. Yeah. So that's lovely. So thank you ever so much.
No, very
Deborah.
kind.
That's really kind, really naughty of you. I think I've sent you an email by the time this comes out. But yeah, I've had so much trouble getting my laptop to start up this morning. You wouldn't believe it. So that was a real surprise. But what was even funnier was I didn't read the envelope properly, first of all. And I thought it was from somebody else. So I blithely messaged Margaret and said, Margaret, thank you so much. She went, I haven't posted yours yet. Oh. I go and check, and then I read the envelope properly, and there, clear as day, above my name,
Deborah.
it says Deborah. So so thank you, Deborah. And from what I've just said, yes, and Margaret, Mama Yoda, who also won a prize, is sending us something, and that's ever so sweet. But you don't have to do that, you know, folks.
No.
You win a prize fair and square. You don't have to say thank you. It's a way of us saying thank you for watching our channel, for joining in, for commenting, and for subscribing. And big love to all of you for joining in. But you don't have to send us thank yous. Just a simple "it arrived" is thank you enough. So there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Good 3 weeks.
Good 3 weeks. Good 3 weeks indeed. So just a last little pop quiz. We must do a Know Your Needle Worker video in between.
Okay.
Sometime between now and our next proper floss tube.
Do
Needle
you not
worker
think they
tag.
get a gist of who we are?
Yes, but it asks much more probing questions.
Ah, probing,
Yes.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, on second thoughts.
Don't mind a bit of probing.
This is a family show. Oh, children. Just don't say things like that.
Space probes. What's the matter with your brain? Probing into space.
It's not the point. It's not the point. We have family members that watch this. How do you think they feel? Probably go, oh no, not them two again. Fast forward, Benny.
On the world tour, Miss England.
Yeah. Yeah, don't come to England. Don't come still. No. So, reading, watching, listening to, very quickly. What have you been reading?
We are reading. I'm still reading at home the Bulgariad.
Bulgaria, yep.
Nearly coming to the end of book 4.
What was that you were reading on the beach the other day? I've been to the beach.
I have a sort of interest after watching Under Duress, Letters from Iwo Jima.
Yes.
In which you get the view of the Iwo Jima fighting from the Japanese side of things, which was quite cool.
Put a pause in there. So there are 2 films, Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, which were directed, I believe, by Clint Eastwood.
Indeed.
And one of them tells the story of Iwo Jima from the American side, and obviously the Letters from Iwo Jima tells it from the Japanese side, and is centred mostly around letters that they found once they'd taken over. It's not like it's a great spoiler here. It's a piece of history, world history. So we'd watched Flags of Our Fathers quite happily, and then and we're going back a few years, and David had been a little bit reluctant to watch it from the Japanese side because of the atrocities that they committed and everything. But I said, no, let's be fair, let's watch it, and it was probably one of the most amazing films we have seen.
It was incredible.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Incredible. So that sort of started an interest of what it must have been like to fight on the other side and the conditions and stuff. And I think as a world people, we know that the Russian front was tough. The winter in Russia and Stalingrad and Leningrad and all of that. And I was in the bookshop and they were selling a German's account of being at Stalingrad, and I thought,
interesting.
Yeah, so that's what I am reading when I'm out and about, because it's a book I don't mind if it gets dog-eared or at the bottom of a bag and gets a bit damp and stuff. Yeah,
because I mean, we can be as patriotic as we like.
Indeed. And, quite.
I'm sure we'll probably lose a couple of subscribers at this point. I
hope not.
Because they'll be like, oh, but you can't take the side. We're not suggesting that you should take the side.
No.
It's about understanding what the ordinary man who had either been worked up by the powers that be into believing that his country was right, or those that had been conscripted, or those that were there under duress because if they didn't sign up and go, then their families would be...
Well, I don't know the ins and outs of it.
You know, we don't know. We don't know what went on.
I don't
but
know
it
the
is
ins and outs
interesting
of
to hear their accounts of what they went through as soldiers.
I feel as an ex-military man, the stuff I did at sea and stuff, you wonder about the stories of others.
It's not about feeling sorry for them. It's about having a broader picture of the history.
And his preface talks about not glorifying what they did. This is not the power of the Reich or any of that. It's just his account of being a soldier at the Western Front. And I thought, it might be an interesting read. And so far, 150 pages in, it is a good read. Cool. Yeah, very interesting read. Another
book that I would recommend is one called Forgotten Voices, and it's a tale of all the things that went on in history with various different... Was it just for...
It's just First War, yeah.
You sure? Because I'm sure there's something in there.
I think
from
Forgotten Voices
Agincourt.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I think Forgotten Voices. We'll have to go around.
Forgotten Voices. Okay.
It's accounts from all sorts of different people about throughout history of various things that happened. From
there's one from the Charge of the Light Brigade and
the Charge of the Light Brigade. There's
a good
accounts
book.
from the First World War. There's accounts from Agincourt and that kind of thing, where they found these written accounts. I think it's Frossart wrote about the Agincourt bit. So anyway, so that's another good book to read if you want to hear little snippets.
Yes.
I'm on the Mistborn trilogy still. I'm still reading book 1. I've been a bit busy stitching. We are watching Loki.
Finally. Yes, I was told about Loki. A truck driving friend of mine, Mark, he was saying about Loki.
And Crafty Rins talked about it on her channel.
Yeah, and wow, yes. What a lovely little sidestep in the Marvel world.
Yeah. Looking forward to watching the rest of that later.
Some of that. I think we're on episode 3.
I think we finished episode 3. We're on episode 4 next.
Yeah, no spoilers in case anybody else hasn't started yet. So, but no, worth getting into if you haven't.
Yep.
And looking forward to some more.
Yep. I've watched The Handmaid's Tale up to the end of season 3.
Yes, and
You're about to start it.
But I'm also season 3 of Man in the High Castle.
Which I'm about to start.
Which is
bad planning on our part.
Philip K. Dick story, which was dramatised for Amazon. A very different view on the world after World War II.
Cool. And of course, catching up on all you lovely Flosstubers. Who have I watched lately? I have watched Stanbury Stitches, Stitchman Darcy, Kaylee Crossstitch. Kaylee, welcome to Baltimore. I'm not here, but congratulations on your move. Look like you're settling in. Very nice view. She lives opposite a church. Quite cute. Who else? Oh, Melissa again. Hello, Melissa. You haven't got your own yet, but you'll be watched. I mean that in a nice way. If you start up a channel, you will be watched by people. I've caught up with Crafty Rogue Gamer, DNA Geek Crafts, Joe. Get yourself your own channel, and the other Joe, Belushi Stitches. What?
I just saw something.
You did?
Could have saved myself some work, didn't I?
Oh.
It's okay. Moving on.
Moving swiftly on. Who else have I watched? Teresa Little Stitcher. Yes. Who's getting on really well with her house, and she's got a 6:30 thingy tonight, and I've just realised I can't do the Zoom. I'm supposed to be doing a Zoom with everybody at 6 o'clock.
We're being invited to dinner.
And we've been invited out for dinner. We actually have started having a social life.
Watch that. Careful.
I know. So with that in mind, this probably won't go up till Monday or Tuesday anyway, because I've got to edit it, and then it's going to take ages to render and what have you, because we're nearly at an hour.
Okay.
A whole hour.
Mental.
So if you stayed with us this long, congratulations, you get an endurance medal. I'll have to make one. You're going to get... There are people who do longer ones, but they probably sped us up. So if we say the next bit really, really, really fast, I think they sped us up and we can do much quicker and it's much easier. And yes, so all done.
I do wonder what that sounds like when they put you on double. That would be. Anyway,
Night.
Do the words.
So we're going to sign off now because we better go do some other stuff today. I want to get some more stitching in before we go out as well. So I hope you all keep happy, healthy, wise and well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit that bell wherever it may be. Take care. Talk to you again soon. Bye. Till next time. Can we stop waving yet?
When does it go away?
I don't know.
Okay.
Bye.